Representative Audrey Gibson, you say better prevention policy can create more money for education funding. I want to parse that out. What do you mean by better prevention policy?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me today. And better prevention policy, in my mind, first of all, is a national issue, not just a state issue. But in particular, in the state of Florida, if we fund better prevention programs, then we actually would have more money for education.
When you say prevention programs, what are you talking about specifically?
Prevention programs are those types of programs that keep children from ending up deeper and deeper in our juvenile justice system. They are the after-school programs. They are before-school programs. Those activities that involve children during the time that they are most likely to get into trouble, and that is between 2:30 and 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
And we've seen a correlation between those programs and children's participation in those programs and their a lack of, or they're not going into the juvenile justice system.
I believe I understood your question, but let me restate your statement in my terms, which would be when we put the proper amount of funding into prevention programs, we see a reduction in children going into our juvenile justice system. And also, conversely, we see less children ending up as adults in our correctional system. More of our budgets are going into our corrections pot instead of where I think it should be going, which is into our educational pot. If you consider, particularly in the African American community, that there are more African American males in our correctional institutions than there are in our colleges and universities, then you understand my point.
And what would it take to move the money from juvenile justice to education?
It takes an enlightened legislature, and not just in the state of Florida, as I said before, but throughout the United States. We as members in all of our various houses need to understand better the correlation of funding for education, which focuses on extracurricular activities, which focuses on more music, physical education, things that children are really in tune to, in addition to their academic studies. If we're able to put more funding there, more funding in after-school programs so that children can participate in more extracurricular activities until their parents get home, we will see a turnaround in this nation of the numbers of children going into juvenile justice facilities and the number of men and women increasingly going into prisons.
And are you hearing a will to do that from your constituents?
My constituents are pleading for it, and I don't believe that they are unique in their pleas. I believe that throughout this nation, as I said before, there is a call for us to turn around the numbers of people who are going into juvenile justice systems, who are going into correctional systems, and not coming out as productive citizens.
Representative Gibson, thank you.